Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Fallout FAQ series, a series where I answer your Fallout related questions every single week for your enjoyment and education. This is the first ever episode I'm doing of this series. I plan to do it every week, as I said, though that may change because I'm a complete buffoon and I'm terrible at scheduling and timetabling. Without further ado, let's start on to the first question. It comes from Spazzy W, a person I know very, very well. And he asks, why did she leave? Moving on to the next question, it's from Deadroll22, and he asks, what is your favourite PipBoy? Mine is the PipBoy 2500, I believe it's the 2500, you see in Fallout 2. There's a mod I use for it for Fallout 4, which I kind of stopped using because it was a little bit broken, it caused a bit of lag in my game, so I kind of, removed it from my game. But it was a mod I really liked using, and I do hope it gets fixed at some point. The whole kind of tablet style, and very, I don't know, I guess it's because Fallout 2 is my favourite Fallout game, kind of comes from a nostalgic point of view. But I think it's a really cool PipBoy design, and yeah, it's probably the reason I enjoy using it so much. Question 3 comes from Uncle Andros, and he asks, what is your go-to build when starting a new game? I like to do builds that are very different to each other each game, so I'll specialise in one special, maybe one game. So for example, a smooth talker who has a high charisma and high intelligence or whatever, or a melee only character who has a really high strength, something like that. This keeps the game interesting for me. I feel like it has a lot of replayability in that aspect, and I guess all Fallouts kind of have that, Fallout 1 and 2 especially because of the whole 2D nature and less voice acting. But with Fallout 3 and New Vegas as well, they definitely did it really well in the sense that you can kind of just do what you want, and that's what a Fallout game is. Moving on to the next question, it comes from Tom the Foolery. What do you think of Fallout potentially leaving the continental United States in future games? This is something I've kind of thought about a lot, definitely interested in it. I look at countries like Russia, obviously played a big part, Fallout universe, China as well, the United Kingdom, somewhere where I live obviously. Places like this kind of have a cool aesthetic to them, a kind of British Fallout aesthetic. That'd be really cool to see, what's it like over there. From dev talks and such, I hear it's not going too well in the United Kingdom, so we'll have to see. I very much doubt it will leave the United States. It kind of has its home there. The aesthetic is very American, 50s American, so it may be weird and different and not make much sense to move it away, but I kind of hope it happens just because I'm curious. Moving on to question 4 is from Maybe Clarence, and he asks, what does this emoji mean? It's this emoji you see on your screen now. Now I'm going to run this through a universal translator, just to see what comes up. And it appears, it says, by Skyrim. Question 6 comes from Gone Wrong in the Hood. He asks, how come the super mutants could be created in Fallout 76? Well, I'm going to tell you that. They weren't created in West Virginia, at least as far as I know, unless Bethesda decides to add some way of having them being formed there, for example a vault experiment. There was a vault experiment, Vault 87, in Fallout 3, which you may remember. In this vault in the year 2078, I believe, the first generation of super mutants were made, or at least they were made there. It's very plausible that in the 24 years between that time and the events of Fallout 76 in 2102, it's very possible that the super mutants have moved across, considering how close West Virginia is to DC. So yeah, I think the possibility that super mutants are in the game is a lot more plausible than factions like the Enclave, which screenshots have come out showing the Enclave and such, or Enclave uniforms. That to me will require a lot of explaining. I'm not sure if that's really going to work with the current lore we have, unless they were going to retcon some stuff from Fallout 1 or 2, which I would be strongly against. But this is Bethesda, they do run the Fallout franchise, they can kind of do what they want with it now. Would be unfortunate, but what can we do? Just going to have to accept it. Question 7 comes from Clapped XD, great name. He asks, who's the best companion in all the Fallout games? And his name is Little Dogmeat, the one in Fallout 4, because he can't die. Question 8 comes from Jamie Wing. He says, what is your favourite species or race in Fallout? For me, it would have to be Deathclaws, but intelligent Deathclaws, the ones we see in the earlier Fallout games. For me, the whole idea of having a Deathclaw that can talk and have human thought processes and stuff, that's one of the coolest things for me. I did a post for Tunnel Snake's Fool on her Instagram, if you follow her, about intelligent Deathclaws once, as kind of a guest writer for her. And that was really cool to do because I don't know, I have such a fascination with the idea of a Deathclaw being able to comprehend humans and interact, and I have fond memories of Fallout 2 and meeting, I forgot the Deathclaw's name, it's Goris or something like that. I have fond memories of that, and I think it would definitely be cool to see in a Bethesda Fallout game, like in the future. Not expecting it in Fallout 76 though. That would be lovely. Moving on to question 9, I think our final question. It's from the Yao Guai, great guy I know. And he asks, what do you think about the Railroad? Well, I think the Railroad are a deep and complex faction that have a great many ideals and different personalities involved, which forms them a very interesting and unique bond that allows them to work together well and fight for a common goal. In other words, they are fucking trash and join the Brotherhood. And that concludes today's episode of Fallout FAQ. Thank you very much for watching. It's been very kind of you to show me some attention here in my goal of becoming a Bethesda YouTuber, which is what I want to do the most in this damn world. Gotta look for something, right? Thank you very much. If you did enjoy this video, sounds generic, but please drop a subscribe because it helps me grow and be a better creator. And maybe a like as well, because that makes other people like the video, because they want to follow the herd. Please, guys, I just want fucking likes. Thank you, bye.